Okay, so a number of people have been asking me, am I going to be doing any more sort of tips videos for PGA Tour 2K21? I've done the sort of putting one, demonstrating the two different putting methods that I use and about pulling the stick back as slowly as possible just to generate the backswing. And I did a 10 general sort of gameplay tips, I think it was. Did I do another one? I'm pretty sure I did another one. Oh yeah, I did another one based on the yardage book. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch on that in the next video. It's going to be sort of like a little two-part thing. This first one, as you saw in the thumbnail and the title, is about getting to know your clubs, what the specific clubs you use in particular. Yeah, your clubs could be completely different to the ones that I have. I'll just show you my clubs again. I've shown them a few times, but I will show them again. But getting to know what your clubs specifically do, and in general for everyone, what your shots and your shot types are going to do, and how it's going to react on the greens. So just a quick recap. I have actually changed my 3-wood and 5-wood. The original 3-wood that I had was carrying 223, so I'll bump that up. I guess I play on master swing, but for the purpose of this video, the next one I'll probably bump it back to master swing, but for the purpose of this one, just to eliminate as many fast and slows as possible and get the perfects, I've dropped it back down to pro swing. But yeah, I bumped the 3-wood to be a 235 carry, and the 5-wood was a 204. Now I have it at the 217. So we've got still got the SimMax full tailor-made bag. So SimMax across the driver and woods, SimMax OS for all of the irons, and SimMax for the 4 wedges. So the wedges are 43.5 degree pitching wedge, 49 degree gap wedge, 54 degree sand wedge, and 59 degree lob wedge. Not that it matters as well, but the putter is the TP Patina Soto, which is the sponsor unlock. So that's my clubs. That's my specific clubs. As I say, your clubs could be completely different, varying forgiveness and all that sort of stuff in the stats, which actually somebody was wanting me to actually go over that. We'll just select the driver, because it's pretty much the same across the board. So if when you're picking your clubs, pick what is right for you personally. Do you want maximum distance with a lot less forgiveness and shot shit? Like for example with the driver, if we go on to mine here, it has good distance. Does it show it? No, it doesn't show it here, but we have the 279 carry on it. But as you can see, it's very little shot shape, and so I mean I'm not exactly going to be able to put much fade or draw on it compared to potentially, let's see if we can find one that has better. So a little bit better shot shaping here on these TGC ones, losing a bit of shot shaping with the Callaway, so on and so forth. So it's basically finding what is right for you. Do you want that forgiveness? Like the original driver that I was using was the TaylorMade Sim, which if you look at the forgiveness bar, so that's going to be, if your swing line, which is the white line in the center of the feedback, your forgiveness is the grey area either side, and the same with the tempo. So it kind of goes into it, and that's your swing plane as well. It comes into it as well. Well, it depends on how thick that is. So you've got them two in a way sort of combined, and then obviously distance control speaks for itself. Like you're gonna get how quick you're going to be able to get the ball to stop if you wanted to stop at a certain distance, or by taking off a certain amount of yardage with loft and so on and so forth. Is there any more of them? Yeah, swing plane. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's your swing line. Your forgiveness is the grey areas either side, and obviously distance, self-explanatory, and distance control again, self-explanatory. But that's pretty much what that is. I can go over that again in the next video. But what I've done for this, as I did mention there, I have dropped back down to pro. The reason being, as I did mention, is just to cut out as many fast and slows as possible. But what I've also done, just so you can see it on screen, and it actually makes a hell of a lot easier for yourselves to be able to do this and get to know it a lot quicker and easier and better what your clubs do, is I have come down and I have switched on ProVision elevation. So on includes the elevation prediction in the trajectory arc, scout cam positioning, and shot suggestion. ProVision true shot, so once this is on, the effect the true shot adjustments has on your shot is included in the visualization of the trajectory. So as you adjust loft and so forth, or fade and draw, you're going to see exactly what way it's going to work. So the trajectory, that's just your arc. Was there anything else that I turned back on? The aim marker on full? No, that should be pretty much it. So that's what I've turned on there just for the purpose of this video. So I'll be right back in just a second. Okay, so as you can see, we're in the designer. Now you can still obviously use, if you just want to do even just a quick warm up, just get your swing in gear, or even calibrate your swing. You can use the practice facility that HB provide in game, but the reason why we're in here is because you have a hell of a lot more control. Now, as you can see, I've done a very, very horrible looking hole here. It's all green. It's 500 yards to the pin. You don't need to make it this long. I mean, you can go and make it actual holes if you want. But what I've done is I've raised the entire plot up by 60 feet. The reason for that, I'll touch on in a minute. But as I say, I've just done a big, massive long green. It's about 100 yards wide. Band of fairway going around it. And as you can see, I've dotted some rather horrible looking bunkers here, there, and everywhere all around just for a different purpose. So what you can do now, as I said, you have full control over what you want to do. So again, as I was saying there a few moments ago, I was getting to know your clubs. You can just play the hole. So as you see there on the left, we have wind speed is set to none, wind direction is none. I know which direction it's going to go anyway, when we do get to that now in a minute. But so wind speed at none. We're going to play the hole, and we will be placed on the tee. There we go. So basically, this is what you can do. Now it's a little bit longer in between shots compared to the actual driving range that HB give in game. But for the purpose of the video, what I'll do is I'm just going to use. I have this set as well for maximum firmness and maximum speed. It should have saved for that anyway. But what we'll do is we'll just go to the lob wedge. So my lob wedge in particular, the Sim Max on the TaylorMade, has a default carry of 91 yards. So if I hit this now with no wind, everything is perfectly flat, I should get roughly a 91 yard carry. Alright, there we go. Horrible swing line, but it shouldn't affect it. It's in the forgiveness area. And it touches down 91, touching onto 92, and it makes it to 94 yards. So now I know maximum firmness, maximum speed, greens, that's what I'm going to get. So I'm just going to go into the options menu, and I'm going to rewind the shot. And I'm going to come back. Now this is why I turned on the true shot stuff that I mentioned there a moment ago. And if we come back again, I'm going to just use the lob wedge just to try and keep the video as short as possible. So we have default carry of 91 yards. Now if I bring up my true shot, formerly known as the shot modifier, if I fully lower the left stick, pull back on the left stick and increase the loft, watch the number there in the center of the screen for the 91 yard carry. It's going to come back down to 86. So my particular lob wedge is going to lose 5 yards of carry with full loft. Now if I reset it and I go full D-loft, it's going to add on. Now notice that actually I cannot push up anymore, and it's saying now 104 yards carry. But if I actually pull back just ever so slightly, just shy, I get 106 yards carry. Just the slight little adjustments. 106 yard carry max. Now that's not including the attack angle. So let's reset the club again. Now let's do attack angle only. And as you see, lowering it all the way, it's only actually knocked off 1 yard, but that's what's going to help generate that backspin for you. Now let's take another shot with no adjustments whatsoever. Just about got the perfect there. So this should settle down roughly around 93, 94 yards. Just stops nice and quick. Tiny, a couple of inches of backspin, so 94 yards. Now what we're going to do, we're going to see what way the attack angle generates the spin, which actually I didn't show there a second ago as well. If you fully push up on it, it's going to give you 2 yards of carry if you fully push up on the right stick for the attack angle. But we're going to come all the way back, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to be wanting to generate backspin when you're adjusting the attack angle. So 90 yard carry is what we're expecting. Oh, I got a slow there, but we'll see what happens. Touches down 89, touching onto 90. And it comes back. So we'll try and get it perfect. We'll try and get it perfect on that really quick. So I don't want this particular video to go on too long. So let's get back onto our lob wedge. No, we don't want to adjust the loft. We just want to adjust the attack angle. That's better. Right, now we should get a better result. So touches down, bang on 90, made it out to 93, and it spun back to 92. So what that's telling me now, if I have zero wind, perfectly flat, no elevation change, and the pin is about 90, 91 yards away, all I have to do with my particular lob wedge, yours again, as I said, could be different, is just adjust the attack angle, and provided I hit a good shot, I'm straight in. I'm nice and close, tucked up there by the pin. Now let's do the loft. So that's taken 5 yards of carry off, knocking it back to 86. Now let's see what way the backspin is generated here. Right, we got the perfect. Again, don't worry about the shot line, we have the forgiveness zone. Touches down, bang on 86, makes it to 88, and comes back to 85. Now, let's rewind again. So it takes a little bit more time, but it's not overly long, it's not tortuously long. We need the lob wedge. So now let's fully lower both of them. And we've got an 84 yard carry, so we have lost 7 yards. 7 yards total carry. Right, we got the perfect. Again, not worrying about the swing line. That's irrelevant for this. Touches down 84, bang on. Makes it to 87. And spins all the way back to 82. Now I will just double check now actually. We'll go back to edit course. Just make sure I should be on. Now I'm not a master designer, so bear with me on this. Just what I do. If it takes too long, I'll cut the bloody thing out. What am I looking for here? Is it course settings? No, it's not. So I'm learning as we go. I'm learning as we go. Terrain settings. No, not terrain settings. No, it must be an edit. Hole settings. No, not in there. Hole 1 green settings. Maybe that would be the one. Maybe. As I say, as you can see, I'm not a designer. Right, bear with me while I just bloody well find it. Well, maybe that's there, green settings. Yeah, there we go. Right, so we're in settings. Yeah, all you have to do is, when you want to change it accordingly, just go to settings and then down to green settings. Jumping right out at me, but as you can see, like, I mean, I have these up at maximum firmness. Now they do normal, it does start you down at, I think here, yeah, 0.5. So I mean, I have these set for as firm as they can be, and the same for the green speed. I have that up at max. That is normally down, I believe it's 6.5 for your normal range, but I have these up. So these are 187 speed maximum firm greens is what I have this set at. So now I know exactly on that setting what my lob wedge is going to do, and I can do the same for all the other clubs. Then obviously, as you can see, you can change the firmness, you can change the speed, and you can see how it's going to affect rollout and spin and so on and so forth. Let's try now with getting to know what way the ball is going to carry in terms of wind conditions. So we're going to have a tailwind here, so we'll bump it up to medium, and we're going to play the hole again. So it should show 91 yard carry once we get onto the lob wedge. So there we go. We have an 8 mile per hour tailwind, so I'm predicting 89 to 100 yard carry here. Alright, got the perfect again, just about. So 89 to 100. No, sorry, 89. Yeah. Did I get that right? No, 91. 99. I think it actually touched down a little bit shy there, because I confused myself there. But yeah, roughly around about 88, 89 yards carry is what I'm expecting. Let's try that again. Right, again, just about got the perfect. So touches down 97 actually, but makes it out to 100 yards. But now let's see what way, really quick. Again, you can do this yourself. We'll cut out just the attack angle itself. We'll do just both. And so now, as we know, 84 yard carry. So adding on 8 yards roughly is what I'm hoping, or what I'm initially going to think that it's going to be. So let's see, that's going to be 92 to 93 yard carry, and then it should hopefully, if not come back a bit, check up very, very quick. Right, we got the perfect. Not too bad of a swing that time. So about 92, 90 actually, a little bit less. makes it out to 93, and then comes back to 90. So pretty much stops where it touched down. The other reason why this is good is because, as I said, this is perfectly flat. Now again, you don't have to, if you want to do something like this, you do not have to do a 500 yard long green or 100 yards wide like what I did. But just say, for example, you want to work on shots out of the rough into the green. And I mean, you can change your pin placement from or to wherever you want. So if we just zoom it right down to here, just next to this bunker, just took it up there. So if we go then play from here, we still have a medium wind on. You can turn that off, you can turn it up to very high, but here we are, we're up in the heavy rough now. So we've had a bad shot, and we're left with an 81 to 88% carry. Now it's put me onto a default pitch. It's 80 yards to the pin. So let's see what the default shot that the game gives me is going to be. And I thought my green was perfectly flat, but then beads are moving. Alright, apparently it's not. I'll have to fix that. But that's the thing, what you can do as well is you can sculpt it, you can change the sculpting around as you wish. Got a decent roll out there out of that. Right, let's rewind the shot and do a full shot. We'll try, because we're going to lose a bit of yardage, we're going to see what a fully lofted lob wedge is going to do. But yeah, you can have it perfectly flat and work on that, see exactly what your rollout was going to be. See what the spin is going to be dependent for different slopes on the green and so on and so forth. See, you can practice your putting as well, practice your bunker shots. So there's a full shot, full loft, full attack angle, 80 yards to the pin with a horrible lie, touches down around about 78, 79, and that's not too bad of an approach actually with that tailwind as well. So, and then we're just left with a little short break here. We'll just hopefully, well, we'll miss the putt, but you have so much more control over what you want to do, and that's the purpose of this video, is just to show you this. Like, I mean, I just made this up, as I said, like just this big horrible looking, as I said, 500 yard long green, 100 yards wide. But the purpose of doing that is because when I'm warming up, or if I change clubs or anything like that, if I want to practice, or if I'm not feeling, say a pitch shot or a flop shot lately or something like that, I can just come in here, I can plop the ball down here. Yeah, I'm gonna have a perfect lie, or else I can put it there in that's upon the fairway, or into the rough, or into the bunker, whatever. And the purpose of it is because whenever I'm practicing something, me personally, I want to be doing it into a green, because that's, again, for me personally, the main thing that I want to focus on. The reason being is that if you've done all of this, practicing out of the rough, out of the bunker, fairway, or long shots into a green, that's why I have it so long, is that you're preparing yourself for any situation. So just say, for example, like, you know, we had that par 4 or a par 5 or something like that, but your approach shot was not the best. Your tee shot, you ended up in the rough. You can put in a banded light rough as well if you want, so you can have all the different terrains. And so you're like, ah, crap, right, I'm in the light rough, or I'm in the heavy rough, should I say. But doesn't matter, I've practiced for this. All I need to do now is just really work out the percentages for it, depending on the lie. But I've practiced for this in various conditions. I can change the wind speed, green firmness, the whole lot, wind direction as well. So, like, I mean, if we want, we can change that to be, where are we, south wind. So if we want to then see what I, bless you. Well, two of the cats beside me, I'm sneezing. Don't know if you heard that, but now we have pretty much it's slightly angled. I mean, I could change the orientation. I believe I can do that. But now I can work on what a lob wedge is going to do with a headwind. So we have an 8 mile per hour headwind, 91 yard carry. I'll predict 85 yards maybe it'll get. No, sorry, no. So about 83, maybe 83. 83 to 85 I'm going to predict. Decent shot, just about. 84, right in the middle. So there you go. Now I know that an 8 mile per hour, even though slightly angled, headwind is going to take 8 yards off my carry, bang on, and it's going to sit down nice and quick. And you can do that for every single one of your clubs. Another thing just before I do wrap up the video is what else you can do. We're having these true shot things on. Is I was meant to just rewind the shot there. What can really help you with your game is getting to know. Yeah, we're going to go with the lob wedge just for the example. We're going to hold L1 or left bumper on an Xbox controller. Mouse and keyboard, no idea. I do apologise, don't know the key bindings there. But we already know our loft and attack angle. But what we don't know is our draw and fade. Now the great thing about draw and fade now is in TGC 1, 2 and 2019, if you wanted to draw or fade the ball, you'd have to aim out here and then hit your fade, and then it would come back. So you'd have to learn it that way. But now we're aimed right on those distance markers, yardage markers, whatever you want to call them. If I want to do a little bit of fade, but watch the numbers in the middle of the screen for the carry. As we come out, no changes there. We're going to come out to about halfway. We should start seeing a drop. There we go, there's 90. So it's actually not too much at all. I'm just going to lose 2 yards of carry with full fade on the lob wedge. So if you're in the fairway but you've got an overhanging tree in your way, you know you need to get around it, you know, okay, I'm in range for this particular shot, and with this, if I had this particular shot with this particular club, I'm only going to lose 2 yards of carry. Now this is again not factoring in the wind. So draw is going to be the same. It's going back down to 89. But let's bump it up to, we'll say a 7 iron, and see if that's going to be only taking 2 yards off. So 158 yard carry. So again, if you actually look there, your attack angle, only when it goes fully up you're going to lose. Some of your clubs are actually different, so I'll actually touch on that really quick. Some of your clubs you have to push up to take a bit of yardage off them, but whereas if you pull all the way back down, there's no change at all. So let's just reset that. Full loft, so what is it, 158, we're going to take 7 yards off there again. Full D loft, we are going to take 3 yards carry off there, and then again if we do that, it's going to take 9 or 11 yards carry off. Now let's actually see, because a combination that you can do. I'll quickly jump up. This is mostly where I'd use it. 5 wood or 3 wood, it's going to be the same. 217 yard carry, full loft, we'll take 1 yard off. Attack angle, we're going to add another 2 yards back on. So you're actually going to get a yard carry. Let's reset it again. If we do full D loft, we've dropped that all the way back down to 189. Let's do full up, 178 carry. All the way down, 198. But now if we do it the other way, full loft, so we've lost that 1 yard. Now if we push up on the right stick, now we've lost another few yards, so we've lost 5 yards total. But let's bring it back down to the 7 iron where we were a second ago, and we're going to have a look and see what the draw and fade does here. So as we come out for the fade, we get out. Now we're only about what, a third of the way across there roughly, and we've lost a yard of carry. Going to come out to about halfway. We've lost 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, all the way fully out. And we've lost 12 yards of carry with full fade on this particular 7 iron, and it's going to be the same again for the draw. So so make sure to keep that in mind. You are going to lose yardage the more aggressive you are with your draw and fade. But just what was it I said I was going to touch on again in a minute? I can't remember. It might come back to me. I've lost the train of thought. See, I don't write down bullet points for notes around like that for scripting these videos. I just what's the word I'm looking for now? Freestyle, I suppose you could say, just on the moment, or just as it comes to my head. But that's what I'm trying to say, is this is a great way of doing things because you have full control over what you want to do. So let's just say, for example, I want to work on, just go into landscape flat, and I'll just pick the circle. Say I want to work on uphill shots, and I'll just make that nice and big. And again, as I said, you can put the ball down anywhere you want, so any terrain. You can do a green, fairway, light rough, whatever. Maybe I want to work on the uphill shots. This is why I raised the whole plot up by 60 feet. So if I want to work on, let me see, 15 yards. Maybe that's going to be a little bit too, hold on, let me get something a little bit sharper. Right, we'll just say this square here. Right, so we're going to work on this. And it doesn't matter how ugly it looks. That's why I just did something like this, because it's just for practice purposes, for your own personal practice. So again, what do we say, about 15 feet roughly in and around? So yeah, 15.9 feet. And I want to work on that sort of elevation. So again, it looks absolutely horrendous, but all I have to do now is just come back to here. Again, everything's perfectly flat. You can adjust all the contouring and the slopes and all that sort of stuff yourself. So we'll approach, or play from here, should I say. And now this is the only problem with doing such a massive green. Actually, let me just change that. I should have copped onto that one. I should have known that would happen. Right, let's just say we're in the fairway. Let's just get ourselves down right onto here. Play from here. We're in the fairway, and we've got this massive uphill. Now, for some reason, yeah, when I turn on, let me actually turn it off, because I actually don't think I needed it on. True shot elevation. Yeah, we don't need that on because we want to see our elevation. So there we go. Right, it's actually saying 20 feet up here now. So it's a little bit off by the looks of things, but it's in around. So I want to work on that. So let's just try this shot, for example. We've a bang on headwind, 7 miles per hour, 183 to the pin. It's playing about 190 with that elevation because it's closer to 21. So we divide that by 3 and add 7 on. So 190, say about 197. So I'm going to lose a bit of yards. Let's see what a straight up 4-iron is going to do. Have I got any of them bunkers in play? I do not, hopefully. So there we go, nice perfect. It's a 187 carry. 183 to the pin, up 20. It's going to touch down 172. And that has actually ran out very, very nice. And that has left a beautiful shot for a birdie if we were on a course. And that's what I said again. Learning your clubs, learning your shot types, getting it all into your head. Practice at your own pace. And then you basically have a game plan for going into absolutely any course. So I think I've covered everything. I hope this video hasn't gone on too blooming long. In the next video, what we're going to do is we're actually going to play a course, and we're going to I'm going to have all the true shot stuff off as if I'm playing in a society event or whatever. And we're basically going to do course management and put everything what we can actually practice within this course designer with our own little mock-up practice facility. Going to put all that into practice. If you managed to make it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you found it useful as well. If you did, make sure to drop it a like, drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit subscribe. I shall talk to you all in the next one on the course for a little course management tutorial. Until then, take care, have yourselves a good one, and bye for now.